Folks, in this video, I want to go ahead and talk about the Devin White situation yet again, and more specifically, the potential ripple effect that it could have for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and some thoughts that they may have on roster moves that they may make in the near future. Well, first, let me go ahead and catch everybody up to speed for those of you who do not know. So, Devin White recently requested a trade from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. There has been reports that Devin White has not been happy with how contract negotiations have been going between his camp and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It has been reported that allegedly Devin White wants a contract somewhere in the range of $18 to $20 million per year. He wants to be one of the highest paid linebackers in the entirety of the NFL, and it seems like negotiations have not been going great in those situations. This has led to that trade request being made. I do want to say that Jason Licht did have a press conference after that trade request was made, and in that press conference, he did talk about Devin White. It was not a press conference specifically to talk about the Devin White situation. It was more so a press conference to talk about the upcoming draft and what the Buccaneers are looking at in certain position groups and what options they may explore. We will talk about that shortly here in this video. But in that press conference, Jason Licht did say that he has nothing against Devin White, loves Devin White, and they look forward to having Devin White on their football team this upcoming season. And I will say this. I still don't truly think that Devin White is going to be traded in this upcoming season, before the draft, after the draft, during the draft, whatever it may be, unless the Bucs get a pretty darn good offer that really makes them consider it. I don't think the Bucs will trade Devin White because you create a pretty big hole at the linebacker position if you do so. Or I guess I shouldn't say a hole, but at least a question mark, right? Because you have Lavonte David. Yes, he would still be there at the linebacking position. That would be somebody that you could certainly rely on. But after that, you have KJ Britt, and he has done some good things for the Bucs in the past, but that's it. You don't have anybody after Devin White if you don't make some type of roster move in some way, shape, or form. This has led a lot of people to say, well, what can the Buccaneers do at the inside linebacker position? Can they get somebody in the post-draft free agency? Some linebacker that is out there 28, 29 years old that you can have on a couple-year deal on the cheaper end just to have another reliable body in there in case you do end up trading away a guy like Devin White. But the more popular theory is, what if the Buccaneers draft a linebacker in this upcoming NFL draft in the early rounds? And there's certainly a lot of options. I don't have photos of the players here, but I can certainly mention them. First player is Drew Sanders out of Arkansas. This is a guy that has done a lot of great things in the last season that he had in college football while at Arkansas in his junior season. He put up some pretty darn good numbers, 9.5 sacks, 1 interception, 3 forced fumbles. He is a guy that would be an excellent replacement for a player like Devin White, to the point where even some people have considered possibly mocking Drew Sanders at pick 19 to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, there hasn't been a top 30 visit or anything along those lines yet, not just for Drew Sanders, but for really any of the top linebacking prospects at this point in terms of the interior, but it is still something you've got to consider. You also take a look at a guy like Jack Campbell, 6'5", 243 pounds out of Iowa. He is another very, very solid linebacker prospect. Trenton Simpson out of Clemson, 6'3", 230 pounds, 2.5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles in his junior season. There are options there that the Buccaneers could potentially explore already, but given this recent trade request by Devin White, especially now, you have to consider it. Because after this upcoming season, folks, if trade negotiations do not go well with Devin White and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, you really don't have many options at linebacker, because guess what? Lavonte David has an expiring contract. Devin White has an expiring contract. And you still have KJ Britt, who I believe would have 1 more year left on his deal, but it certainly would be a big question mark in the possibly biggest part of your defense being middle linebacker when you really have to have 2 pretty solid guys there. The Bucs have 2 really solid guys who both do very different things very well. Devin White as a blitzer, Lavonte David as a coverage guy. So, yeah, I think that there is a ripple effect here with Devin White's trade request and the contract negotiations not potentially going well, there is certainly a ripple effect here that may have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers explore the possibility of taking a linebacker in the early rounds of the NFL draft, be it a Drew Sanders, be it a Campbell, be it a Simpson from Clemson. Those are all guys that I think will and should be considered. Even mid to later round guys, I think, should be considered, just to get guys in the building who have potential, who you have on longer term deals, which is the most important part in this situation, that you can potentially grow and develop, just in case negotiations continue to go poorly with White and you may have to move on from him, be it at the end of next season or possibly even earlier if you really get a good deal and you end up trading Devin White away. But folks, that's kind of it for this video talking about that ripple effect. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions about this. Do you think Devin White's trade requests and contract negotiations not going well will have some type of ripple effect on the Buccaneers, be it in this upcoming draft, be it in the post-draft free agency? Let me know your guys' thoughts. Also, could have a ripple effect because, duh, they could trade away Devin White, get more draft capital back, which could open up an entire list of possibilities as to what they could do in terms of drafting more players, trading up in the draft, trading back in the draft, and all those other different types of things. So there's a pretty decent ripple effect that could certainly be there that I think is worth talking about as a possibility. But again, I would love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Let me know them down in the comments section below. I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope y'all enjoyed. And as always, folks, I will see you all in the next video or the next live stream. One more thing before I go, subscribe if you guys are new and hit the like button if you do enjoy these types of videos. And as always, guys, I'll see you soon. Goodbye for now. Go Bucks.